Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As many of you know, February is American Heart Month, and it is within that scope that I have introduced a resolution to establish this week, February 22nd through the 28th, as AED Awareness Week in Pennsylvania. AED stands for Automatic External Defibrillator. I hope many of you knew what that stood for before I even said it. These devices are an easy-to-operate tool that is an effective treatment for restoring a regular heartbeat and rhythm during sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. And over 350,000 people will suffer from sudden cardiac arrest this year. Nearly 7,000 to 10,000 kids die from sudden cardiac arrest each year. Many of us are parents in here, and I hope that that number really sticks with you. 7,000 to 10,000 kids a year die from sudden cardiac arrest. I was handed this pack of cards from my constituent Rachel Moyer, and on here are the faces of the many children who have lost their lives to sudden cardiac arrest. So if you'd like to look at these, I do have them on my desk. During the 2013-14 session, I worked with the Moyers and many of you here who supported and sponsored Act 35, a new law that established an AED program within the Department of Education, directing the agency to issue an invitation for bids every 2 years for the cost of the AEDs in hopes that schools being able to obtain the devices for a lower cost. This legislation also established a registry of schools that do or do not have AEDs. I encourage each one of you to look at that registry and follow up with your school districts to ensure they have made every effort to protect your constituents, their students, staff, and visitors by having an AED in each building. If you don't know this information, you're behind the ball. Just a little tidbit of information, if you were thinking that CPR can be done without an AED, CPR alone works only in 4 to 6% of the time. With an AED, the odds of survival go up 75% or higher. I cannot thank the Moyers enough for their dedication to this cause, and I commend them for their aspiration to make our schools safer in this capacity and for working proactively to ensure other families may not have to suffer the loss of a child to sudden cardiac arrest when an AED could have potentially saved their life. The Moyers have been instrumental in their efforts to help make a difference, and it has been an honor to work with them on this issue. Rachel just returned from Alaska, where she continues to travel not only our state but our country to educate the public and legislators on AEDs. I thank Rachel and several other visitors that I will mention in a moment for taking the time this morning to train state employees and legislators on how to use an AED. The following individuals have dedicated much time to the issue, unfortunately, due to sometimes a loss of their child that may have been saved with an AED. I'd like to welcome and recognize Mother Tony Savino and Aunt Lorraine Sikora here in memory of Louis Savino. If you'll stand in the back there, Lorraine, thank you, and Tony. Thank you. We also have with us George Over in memory of his son, Ryan Over. Mother and father, my constituents, John and Rachel Moyer, in memory of their son, Gregory Moyer. Our hearts are with each and every one of you today and always, but most importantly, we thank you for your strength and efforts to continue and put forth efforts to help bring awareness to AEDs and the importance of their accessibility both in schools and in our community. It is a memory of your children and in the fight to strengthen awareness and protect others that I am very honored to be able to have the privilege in my position to create AED Awareness Week in Pennsylvania. And I hope that because of this week, people who don't know what AED stands for will know what that stands for and will work to get these units in their facilities. I ask that each legislator communicate this resolution in your communications to your constituents to ensure the acronym AED is known and to ensure facilities in your local district are doing their best to be ready for an emergency cardiac arrest, especially with our children. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I do have bracelets that I hope each one of you will pick up at my desk that remind you of AED awareness. Thank you.